If you're trying to figure out where to live in Atlanta, it is like solving a Rubik's Cube because every time you think you've cracked it, someone throws out another neighborhood that you've never heard of. You've got Morningside, Virginia Highlands, you've got Druid Hills, and so many more. And you may be wondering to yourself, what does this all even mean? So in this video, I am going to break down this specific area of Atlanta, and I'm going to tell you about these neighborhoods, what they are, what's nearby, what the homes are like, what the school system is, and more importantly, what it actually feels like to live there. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Melinda Reese and I sell real estate right here in this Atlanta area. And on this channel, we cover real estate, new development, and everything fun happening around the city, especially when it comes to finding you the right place to live. We're going to start off with Midtown because this is literally the heart of Atlanta. So if you want that live, work, play type of lifestyle, this is where you want to be. Now, Midtown is completely packed with high-rise condos. You've got buildings like 1010 Midtown, you've got Viewpoint, and these buildings are very popular because they're modern and they have some amazing amenities. And then you're right in the middle of everything. You've got the High Museum of Art, you've got the Fox Theater, and of course the iconic Piedmont Park. If you want walkability, it is hard to beat Midtown. They've got restaurants, cafes, gyms, grocery stores, and they're all within a few blocks away. But here's what most people don't realize. There is a section of Midtown called the Garden District. So if you are looking for a house in Midtown, this is the area you want to be looking at. The homes here were mostly built in the early 1900s, and a lot of them are craftsman style or Victorian. Now keep in mind, these are Midtown lots, so they are smaller, but most of the homes here have been fully renovated on the inside. You want to think open kitchens, modern layouts, and updated baths. You're also going to see a lot of duplexes here, so if you are thinking about investing, this is definitely a good pocket to look into. Now the schools for Midtown are Virginia Highlands Elementary, Howard Middle, and Midtown High School. And price-wise, condos in this area start in the mid 300s for a one-bedroom. A two-bedroom can go around 500, and as far as the houses in the Garden District, you are going to start at over $1 million, and they can go way up depending on size and update. Now let's move over to this area right here, and it is Ansley Park, which is right next to Midtown, but with a completely different vibe. The streets are wider, the homes are absolutely gorgeous, and it feels just tucked away, even though you're still right in the middle of the city. Now in this area, you're going to find historic homes with some real presence. You've got Tudors, you've got Mediterranean style, you've got some classic colonials, and most of these have been fully restored and they sit on much bigger lots than what you're going to find in Midtown. Now Ansley Park is basically across the street from the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and you can walk to Piedmont Park from several of the streets in this neighborhood. You're also right by Ansley Golf Course, and a fun fact, if you are a member, they will send a shuttle to pick you up and take you to the club, so I thought that was kind of cool. Now this area is very quiet, it's very residential and very upscale. They've got the same schools domed here, which is Virginia Highlands Elementary, Howard Middle, and Midtown High. Now the homes in Ansley Park typically start around $2 million, but I've seen some listed for as high as $5 million and up. Now next up is Piedmont Heights. Now this one is easy to miss, but I actually used to live here and it is the cutest little area. It is tucked between Monroe Drive and Piedmont Road. Now this is not a flashy area, but if you're looking to get into something in a great location at a decent price, this is where you want to be. It is super close to Piedmont Park too. Now the homes here are mostly 1950 and 1960s bricks ranches. You're also going to see some mid-century moderns and some newer construction with those clean contemporary looks. Now it is a very good mix of homes in this area. You're basically across the street from Ansley Mall, and it is walkable to the Beltline, so you can head straight down to Piedmont Park or into Midtown. Now the schools in this area are Morningside Elementary, Howard Middle, and Midtown High. Now price-wise, you can find some homes here for under $1 million if it needs some work, and I've seen some renovated ones go up all the way to about $2 million. All right, now let's talk about Morningside. If you are looking for a classic neighborhood, but you still want to be close to the city, this is one you also want to check out. It is northeast of Piedmont Park and has a very strong community feel. Now the original homes here were built in the 1920s and the 1930s, so you're going to find Tudors, colonial revivals, and brick two-stories. But there's also a lot of new construction because they are tearing down the older homes and they are building these big, beautiful modern properties. So you're going to see modern farmhouses and sleek, updated homes with open layouts. Now Morningside Elementary is the local school here, and just so you know, it is one of the most sought after schools in the city. Now the middle school is still Howard and the high school is still Midtown High. As far as shopping or restaurants, you've got Morningside Village area, which places like Alon's Bakery, and you've got the Family Dog, which has been there for forever. Now this is not a huge district, but you're so close to everything else in the city that it really doesn't matter. Now homes in Morningside are averaging around 1.4 million, but new construction is easily hitting $3 or $4 million. Now, last in this section is Virginia Highlands. Now, this is one of the most iconic neighborhoods, and if you know it, you know why. The homes here are mostly craftsman bungalows from the 1920s and the 1930s. You're gonna see deep porches, exposed beams, and some beautifully updated interiors. But just like Morningside, you're gonna see a lot of people rebuild, so the new construction is popping up everywhere. Now, what makes Virginia Highlands stand out is that one little shopping district that is right at the corner of Virginia and Highland. There is a whole row of shops and restaurants and cafes, and the original Taco Mac used to be here. It just closed, and there is a new spot called Jack Brown's that is moving in. Now, Murphy's is also a great brunch spot, so you really want to check that out. Now, this area down here is always busy, especially on the weekends. People are out walking and running and pushing strollers, grabbing coffee, and it just really feels alive. Now, some parts of this area are zoned to the Virginia Highlands Elementary, and some of them go to Springdale Park Elementary, but both feed into the Howard Middle School and Midtown High School. Now, homes here typically start around $1.2 million, but depending on the renovations and the size of the lot, those prices can go up extremely fast. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of the East Side core 5 neighborhoods that are all next to each other, but all with completely different styles, energy, and pricing. So in the next video, I'm heading out a little further, and I'm going to talk about Piedmont Park, the Old Fourth Ward, and Druid Hills. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you don't miss it. Let me know in the comments which neighborhood feels more like your vibe, or if you're still feeling completely lost. That is what I'm here for. Make sure to reach out anytime, and I'll be happy to show you around. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.